Welcome to Coffee Break with Chill Youth. This is our first episode of Finding Happiness. I am Alex Ritchie, and today I am with Kristen Zure.
Hello.
Today we'll be talking about different types of happiness and what is happiness.
So, have you ever wondered about happiness? I mean, have you actually sat down and pondered what happiness was, Alex?
Yeah, quite a bit. I've thought about what is happiness.
And lots of research on it.
Mm-hmm.
We have a quote up on our dining room, and it says, "Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, but it's about learning to dance in the rain." And I think that's a good description of happiness right there, is that it's not a short-term moment,
Right.
but it's your life that you're trying to create.
Yeah, very long-term happiness is what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly. So I know you've been doing a lot of research, especially on studylinks.com, about the different types of happiness. What have you come up with?
Right, so there's 3 topics the website talks about. And the first one is pleasure, and that's mostly short-term happiness, and it's about like food and sorts. And what's some type of food or drink that you like?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so my favorite drink is mochas. I
Right.
love mochas because I think the heat and the creaminess and of course the chocolate in it, it just soothes me. So whenever I have like a bad day or just came out of a stressful situation, or if I know that I'm going into a very stressful meeting,
Mm-hmm.
I will go get a mocha, and that just somehow calms me down. The really weird thing about this is, okay, I don't know if I'm the only person out there that has experienced this, but when I drink a mocha, if I have a headache or if I just have body aches everywhere
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have any Advil on me, I go and I get a mocha,
Really?
and it makes me feel better. Yeah, it takes the edge off the pain, and sometimes it takes the pain completely away. My brother and I were talking about it, and he said this, it does the same thing for him too. So I don't know if it's just he and I are just weird, or if other people, experience the same thing. But it definitely gives me pleasure. Too bad it's just temporary. What about you?
So one thing I like is hot sauce, and especially like buffalo wings, which a lot of people cause pain to them. But I really like hot sauce. Like every other month, it used to be every month, I get 3 bottles of hot sauce with like varying taste and like hot sauce levels. And I don't know, it really like soothes me for some reason because it kind of like distracts you in a weird way. I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
of the pain on your mouth, right?
It's weird because to me it's not really pain. It's like different type. I don't know. It's like
It's warm.
I don't want to say it's pleasurable pain, but I don't know. It's really I like it a lot and it tastes good, but
Yeah,
a
that's
lot of people in
awesome.
my family just hate it and
My
think I'm
my
weird.
brother-in-law used to make his own hot sauce,
Oh really?
and he had people crying. You know, so he gave me one of his hot sauces, and it was supposed to be mild. I'm sitting there just okay, mild, and my mouth was on fire. I was grabbing my father-in-law's drink, and then
Really?
somebody else, and then I just grabbed a pitcher. I was just like, this is insane. This is not mild. Yeah.
Some of my hot sauces are like Carolina Reapers and like ghost peppers. But
Wow.
I haven't actually tried them yet
Oh
because
my
I'm not sure how
goodness.
hot they're gonna be, but that is gonna be the most pleasurable thing
Wow.
I'm guessing. Anyway.
Yes. Whoa. Okay. Pleasure. Some people's pleasure is pain. Awesome.
Right. And the second one the website talks about is like passion, which is like hobbies and stuff. And what's a hobby that you like?
um. Wow. I like to write. I really like to write. I rarely ever get to do it, but when I do, um, it's an escape for me. I like to
Mm-hmm.
write fiction, so I get to create these stories and things like that. And so, yeah, that's a passion. But another passion of mine, of course, is trail youth.
Right.
I like to dream, And I like to dream of possibilities and then trying to figure out if there's a way to make those dreams into reality.
You have. Quite
Yeah, this I
obviously
have.
where I
So,
am right now.
right. So now it's like, okay.
I mean, it's interesting that you actually talked about writing because I actually, between fifth grade and freshman year, which I'm a junior, I was writing a book with my friend, and
Really?
it was actually we wrote multiple books ish. Like we created like the storyline of it, but I don't know. That's something I used to do, which I actually was quite passionate about. Like we kind of just stopped when we got into like high school, middle of like freshman year.
Oh, yeah.
But now for me, it's more about like video games and like the competitive side of it, which a lot of
Ah.
people don't understand for good reason because it's quite new. But
So, how does the video games and that passion bring out happiness in your life?
uh, I mean, I get to like work with people online, which can sound creepy to a lot of people. But I don't know. You just get to work as a team with people. I don't know. I just like it
Yeah,
a lot.
that's neat. So, what's the third one?
The third one is purpose, and it's kind of similar to passion, but it's a lot more important and a lot more long term, and something that you'll do like when you're an adult later in life, and yeah,
Mm,
it's about like your job and or cause or something.
yeah, I I used to work at these jobs that I absolutely hated, and so the last time I worked at one, I'm just like, no, I cannot spend the rest of my life doing this. So, how do you pull in, passion and create your purpose from it? And so it was really exciting to be able to explore how to pull the passion in for helping teens out on the trails and then turn
Hmm.
that into an actual job and purpose for my life that I can really enjoy on every day. And so it's cool. I mean, sure, there's ups and downs. Like you were just in on a meeting that
Right.
that you saw my frustration over like the background administration type stuff, and but at least it's still for trail youth, so I can
Right.
get over that. But I think I encourage people, if you're stuck in that rut and you're not finding that happiness, that deep joy on a day to day basis, look at your job and say, okay, what's my passion? Is the job actually fulfilling your passion?
Hmm.
Or is it actually depleting and draining you from that passion?
Right.
So, yeah.
I mean, I really don't have anything I can say about my life because I'm only 16 when it comes to this. But I know my dad, he worked at Microsoft for 19 years, I think. I don't know, I
Yeah.
think it's 19 years, but it was a very long time. But he actually like really hated it, like the entire like time pretty much. But a couple of years ago, he quit Microsoft and joined like a smaller company in the same programming
Yeah.
sense, and he's a lot more happy with the job. And
That's
yeah,
good. I know it really makes a big difference, long term, especially on
hmm
your health and everything like that. Even here at Trail Youth, when we're trying to, we're still adjusting to the newness and everything, and there are times when we have to take on tasks that
hmm
are challenging and we don't find pleasurable. um, we can do it, but we make sure that we keep those tasks to be temporary.
hmm
And as soon as we find someone who loves that kind of stuff and it's their passion, then we're like, hand it over because we know long term it's going to be a bad effect.
right,
It just kind of squashes passions, it squashes dreams. So it's always good to make sure that you're constantly handing those things off to other people who actually love it.
right.
Yeah,
It's definitely important.
yeah. Um, so let's see. We we have we have one other thing here about how does joy even begin. Actually, have you
Hmm.
ever wondered about the neuroscience behind joy? I always thought it was just kind of like a emotion hanging out there.
Um,
I just
I mean, I've always heard of like dopamine and stuff, but didn't really know what it was
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I was taking this class for my life coaching session,
Right.
and it talked about joy, and they described joy as you're happy to be with someone
Hmm.
and you're happy to see them. And I was just kind of like, what kind of definition is that? You know, like what? But then I started thinking about it and thinking back to a time in my life when I was in high school and my dad was the principal of this small private school. And so that didn't make things easy on me. I remember just walking into a bathroom, a girl's bathroom, and everybody just went silent and they all gave me the death glare. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what is that all about? And it's just because I was the principal's daughter.
Oh,
So that was it, but it really stuck with me and it just, I don't know, it really dug deep in there and brought in a lot of insecurities and definitely did not promote joy at all.
right.
So I think for the person walking into a room, if you can show and express joy for that person being there,
Hmm.
um, benefits them greatly.
For sure.
But then I think it also benefits the giver of that too as well. But anyways, that was
Yeah.
not about dopamine, but the beginning of those stages, though, begins at birth. And if you have a good connection with your mother or your guardian, there, the the neurons get connected here, and so it's like you have by the time you're 1 years old, then you can have those neurons being connected um, that encourage joy and release those dopamines. But on the same time, if
Hmm.
if you don't have that close relationship, they're not hugging you, they're not singing to you, they're not showing that they actually appreciate your presence, then the wires get crossed, and it's more of a fear-based learning system there,
Right.
and so joy begins at birth, actually.
I think actually joy is pretty much really important, like earlier stages in life, and
Mm-hmm.
like your connection to your parent. I think because I've seen like a lot of my friends who've had very like bad connections with their parents, and they're still kind of trying to get out of that like
Mm-hmm.
mental state. I'm not really sure how
Right.
to put it from their parents.
Yes.
From their bad relationship with their parents earlier in life, they're trying to like get away from that still,
Mm-hmm.
and it sucks. I mean, I'm really lucky to have like close connection with my dad and such.
Yeah,
So,
it is because if you don't get started off right, it just
mhm.
continues on, into adulthood.
Yeah, and it can take a long time to truly be happy.
Yeah, exactly. So, in your definition, Alex, what would you say true happiness is?
Right. Yeah, this is definitely just my opinion. I honestly haven't done much research on this, but I would say it's really having confidence in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have confidence in yourself, you can pretty much do anything. And even if you like fail at something or make a mistake, you actually will learn from that, and you won't put yourself down from making a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really don't have confidence in yourself, I feel like from actually what I've seen in like gaming, they'll just kind of shut down and they won't learn anything, and they'll just be kind of like just depressed from what I've seen. So and yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of saying it. Is the confidence. The more confidence you have, then I
Hmm.
think the happier you're going to be,
Yeah.
because your life isn't filled with fear and insecurity. If you don't have the confidence, you're filled with a fear. So
And it's really hard actually to build confidence. I would say, like having everyone has insecurities about themselves, which sometimes you never get rid of. But
hmm
I think being able to lift yourself up is very important in
yeah.
life.
So we've got some fun quotes.
Oh yeah.
We couldn't decide, which one to actually talk about or whatever because they were so good. So to conclude this, we're just going to throw out some fun quotes to you that will hopefully challenge. So my first quote is from Buddha.
Oh.
Yes, Buddha. He says, "There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path." And I totally agree with that.
Oh.
Yes, because it's just not a moment in time. It's a lifelong journey.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, my first quote is from GH, whoever that is. And it is, "Happiness is letting go of what you think your life is supposed to look like." I think that's great having, I don't know.
That's pretty deep. Yeah, if you're thinking that your life is supposed to be going somewhere,
Right.
and it's not, you can become pretty discontent and unhappy about that.
Yeah.
Mine is from the 14th Dalai Lama. "Happiness is not something ready made, it comes from your own actions." And I
Mm-hmm.
totally believe that no matter what the circumstances are in your life, you can still choose to be happy in them. It's a
Right.
choice.
Yeah, for sure. My second one is from lifehack.com, and it is, "Two things prevent us from happiness: living in the past and observing others." And I think that's actually like something that happened to me throughout my life. I kept like looking back and be like, "Oh, I used to be so happy. Life is so easy," and that used to make me depressed. And then like I think everyone had this in like high school and middle school, looking at everyone. It's like they're so much cooler
Oh,
and
yes.
so much better, which
Yep.
I think is
Not good.
affects
Not
everyone.
good.
Yeah.
My last one is from Mandy Hale. "Happiness is an inside job. Don't assign anyone else that much power over your life."
Mm,
And that's really good. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong is when they're expecting other people to make them happy.
right.
And people are always going to fail, so that's
Mm,
comes back again to your choice and your outlook in life.
yeah. My
So,
last one is from quoteling.com. It's a very simple one, but I really like it. And it's, "Happiness is enjoying the little things in life."
yes.
I think this also is like appreciating everything and realizing how good your life is compared to a lot of people.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, this concludes our first episode for the Finding Happiness series. Keep on joining us. We're going to be discussing all sorts of stuff like adoption, service dogs, music, and a whole bunch of other things. So join us with this series, Finding Happiness. Anything else to add?
Look at our website, Instagram,
And Facebook page.
Facebook.
Yep. And share and like us on all those things. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Go out and be happy today.